In the quiet village of Ockham in Surrey, England, a boy named William was born around 1287. Though humble in origin, his mind would carve one of the most enduring principles in intellectual history. Raised in a time of scholastic entanglement, where theologians and philosophers built vast, elaborate systems to explain the world, William of Ockham stood out for his insistence on clarity, economy, and restraint. He would become a Franciscan friar, a philosopher, a logician, and the father of a principle now known as Occam's razor. William's early studies brought him to Oxford, where he began to challenge the grand metaphysical schemes of thinkers like Thomas Aquinas and Duns Scotus. To Occam, their complex hierarchies of forms, essences, and divine intermediaries were not explanations, but obfuscations. He believed that explanations should never multiply causes or assumptions unnecessarily. In his words, entities must not be multiplied beyond necessity. Entia non sunt multiplicanda praeter necessitatem. This razor-sharp idea, Occam's razor, was not just a critique of theology, but a revolutionary philosophical method. It wasn't about rejecting the divine. It was about asserting that simpler explanations, when sufficient, should be preferred. He applied this to language, universals, logic, and even to politics, writing boldly in defense of the separation of church and state, an act that nearly cost him his life. Fleeing papal persecution, he spent his later years in exile under the protection of the Holy Roman Emperor, but his razor endured. Centuries later, scientists would wield it to strip away superstition and conjecture. When Copernicus proposed the heliocentric model, when Newton formulated his laws of motion, and when Darwin conceived natural selection, each appealed, consciously or not, to the principle of simplicity. Not because simplicity guarantees truth, but because it keeps us honest. It reminds us that the burden of proof lies with complexity, not clarity. Today, Occam's razor remains a cornerstone of scientific reasoning. From quantum physics to machine learning, researchers use it to prefer parsimonious models, the ones that explain the most with the least. William of Ockham, the friar with the fewest assumptions, could never have imagined neural networks or string theory, but he would have understood the impulse to cut through the noise and glimpse the truth with as little clutter as possible. In an age still prone to overcomplication, Occam's legacy is a blade of discernment, sharp, enduring, and timeless.